Family, you guys are so amazing. Listen, I want to say thank you so very much for sharing this video, for commenting on the video, and also for liking this video. It's because of you, we're able to fulfill our mission, and that's to empower the world to never give up. With your connection together, we can empower the world to never give up. I've gathered some great pastors of the 757 that's going to encourage your heart, that's going to motivate you, but most importantly, show you and encourage you what the next move ought to be. This conversation. What's been different for you all?
This has been a humbling season. It really has been a humbling season, to say the least. The uncertainty of it all and the anxiety that's in the air, it certainly just makes you just sort of do a double thinking. You really do. It has just been such a humbling time, I must say. Yeah.
Because I know we always hear God has not given us the spirit of fear, but He has given us the spirit of what? Love and of a sound mind, power and sound mind.
Yes.
I mean, it's easy to tell people that until it's time for us to actually put that in action. How have you all been putting that in action and to encourage your congregants?
I've been telling folks, you know, it's been humbling, but it's also been a time of reflection. Yeah. And get you some rest, watch some TV. Yeah. You know, watch Martin. You know, of course, you know, just taking time out with your family. Yeah. Hey, spring cleaning started early for us. Cleaning up, cleaning out the house, cleaning the closet out. Also, you know, I've been in the studio working on my album. So, you know, man, just taking time out to reflect and relax.
Absolutely.
I think it's been time for preparation.
Yeah.
So I believe that those that are prepared when we come out of this season, they're going to prosper.
Wow. Yes, sir.
And so this is the time that I've been encouraging people, you know, go ahead and get your credit together.
That's what I said.
Go ahead and get your finance together.
Come on now.
We're getting ready to do a series called In Famine. Yeah. So we're doing family in famine, finance in famine, faith in famine, flourishing in famine, fitness in famine. So you think of this, we're looking at this time as isolation, but why not look at it as sanctification? This is the time that we've been set apart. Yeah. And all the things, you know, work on your business plan now. Yeah. Instead of sitting, I mean, you only can watch so much news. They tell you the same thing at 8 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock. And so, you know, my wife and I, we're getting ready to go to closing on a house. There we go. So God is prospering us even in the midst of famine. So I mean, for the believer that's prepared, like you're going to come out of this, and when you come out of this, it's no different than the children of Israel. Yeah, absolutely. You know, they came out of Egypt stronger. They came out of Egypt better, larger. Yeah. In the midst of all that's the blood gonna make it. It's gonna cause for it to pass over. So we ain't worried about the plague. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, let's make sure that we're prepared for the opportunity. There are people still there's still people hiring right now. Absolutely. You know, you sitting at home thinking, woe is me, I can't get a job. While they're laying people off, for the believer, there's still some people that are still hiring. My wife got a raise. You know what I'm saying? There's some things
in the midst of a drought.
In the midst of famine, like you can still prosper in family for those that are prepared and those that are believers.
I did a video on last week, and I shared with everybody one of the major keys or the major words that most people have said: I need a break. Yeah. So now that you got your break, what are you going to do?
Yeah. I think I agree with Kasem. This is very strategic. Yeah. This is the time, really, when you can have that solitude to honestly think and listen, really, and prepare during the season. One of the things I do want to share, that the Bible says that during a famine, Abraham and Isaac sowed. They sowed.
Yes.
They sowed. Yeah. This is a wonderful opportunity for the people of God to really sow. You know, this is not the time to get your stimulus check, stick it under your mattress. Right. This is the time to sow. Sow good ground. Absolutely. Sow into good ground. So I have really been doing that. Yeah. I have really been very strategic. Yeah. Not been running in fear. Right. I've been running very strategic and making sure that you're right. All my plans are together. Yes. This is the time I'm working on my business plan right now. So I really think this is a blessing. This opportunity for me. Yes. I really do.
That's the most.
So one of the things that I kind of look at is that we've been strategically ordered to be still. Yeah. The Word of God says, be still and know that I am God. Yes. And one of the most challenging things for a lot of people by nature is to be still. Yeah. We're busy. Yes. You know, one of the first things I realized when things started shutting down is how quick my calendar emptied.
Wow.
Yeah.
And when my calendar emptied, I realized my calendar didn't validate me as a person. So I'm really big on changing your perspective.
Yes.
So when I talked about isolation to my people, I said, some of you have never picked up that bulletin and given it a second thought. Yes. But now when you flip on the backside and you see those who are sick and shut in, now you can relate to what they deal with every day. And every day. So instead of murmuring and complaining, how about change your perspective and now give those individuals a call? You know, so I guess that's some of the things, just making sure. My pastor out of, Havelock, North Carolina, 30 years ago, used to talk about being quiet to hear the voice of God. And some of us hate quiet noise. We hate to be quiet. It's almost as if we're afraid to hear ourselves think. But so many things are birthed out of being quiet. My husband came home yesterday and he said, I've not seen you this excited in a long time. But because I kept the television off all day, I had my quiet time with the Lord in the morning, that idea of worship, having a church without walls, was birthed out of my spirit. It was spoken to me years ago, but I didn't know how to put it together. But in that time of quietness, he told me what to do, who to call, and it all came together. So when we're quiet, we can hear God speak.
I think if I can build on that each time Jesus withdrew from the crowd
He went to a quiet
and went to a quiet place,
solitary
he
place.
came back stronger than he was before. And to transition that, I didn't know how tired I was until this took place. And I just get into place and just let everything go. Stop planning and stop for the moment, and just spend some time with me and my family and just rest. Because we don't rest. Every time when we get a phone call, we're running.
The text message.
We're going. We're answering. We don't spend that time, and we don't get a chance just to rest. And I think that was one of the things that the Lord had me in this moment. At the beginning, it's just rest. I transitioned from one church to another church. It was a week, maybe 2 weeks, and went right back into the next situation and didn't get a chance to rest. No vacation, none of that. Didn't get a chance to rest. So in this moment, I'm having to just enjoy having that time to rest and look for the newness of God.
That's awesome.
Because now when I stand, there's this energy, there's this excitement that I bring, that in the 24 years, not that I didn't have it, but I had just almost gotten to eat.
And it's a season, excuse me, if I can jump in, it's a season where we can, if we'll quiet down and settle ourselves and ask God to give us fresh eyes. We'll see things differently.
Absolutely.
And fresh ears. I don't want to, and my prayer has been, Lord, let me not waste this time. Because
so
this is a time that if we're not careful, we will find stuff to fill the space. When he's saying just simply be still.
Be still.
Be still. And so in being still, I've come to realize there's some greater things that are happening than this COVID-19, although that's the conduit to get us where we are, but there's so many things that are greater than this. But until we settle down and change our perspective with fresh eyes and clear ears to hear the Spirit of the Lord, we'll miss it.
This is my ultimate prayer, because you both brought it up, that things that you were doing usually on Sundays is changed now because of the situation. My prayer is that every pastor, every leader, every church sees what needs to be taken out and takes it out. Moving forward.
Absolutely.
I think that's good stuff. And even when that resting piece, I share with my folks all the time. Resting is being able to sit down and rest your body. Resting is not sit down. That's not resting.
That's crashing.
You're exhausted. That means you're exhausted. You're tired.
Right.
But like you said, resting. I think everything is cemented together. Even Pastor Casey talks about preparation. And that being in that quiet space, it allows that rest will allow you to have fresh eyes, fresh ears. I mean, I think it's just key in this season that we rest, again reflect, and still, rejoice, man. Rejoice in this season. Rejoice. There's a lot of good things.
A lot of good things
happening.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think this is very strategic. I really think this is very strategic.
Yeah.
And I'm with you, Pastor Rosalind. Don't miss the opportunity.
Absolutely. Right.
Don't miss the opportunity, whether it is for a business purpose or whether it's just a closeness to God. Don't miss the opportunity. Or, to redesign the ministry according to the needs of the people that you're serving.
Culture,
Yes, I think this is awesome.
So Pastor Brandon made reference to that, to the Jesus piece. So, after Jesus performed a miracle, he would always come back to rest and rejuvenate himself in isolation, in solidarity. Well, the next piece to that is there was a greater miracle to follow.
Yes, sir.
So we got to understand that this time is imperative for the time to come.
Yes, yes.
So that's why I also say, when I say preparation, I don't just mean getting your stuff in order, but I mean rest. I mean get yourself spiritually centered. I mean repent. Because it's so easy for evil to ease in.
Or laziness,
and
complacency.
And sometimes, man, the evil, the evil is in. Watch this, and this might be a hard piece to swallow, is in the stuff that we're doing in church. Because the stuff that we do in church sometimes becomes our God.
Yes, sir.
And God is saying now, listen, it's just, like I said, this is no games, this is no gimmicks, it's just me and God now.
Right.
This ain't about what usher board I serve on, this ain't about what deacon board, because us being so occupied with kingdom stuff and not taking time to be with the King. It nullifies it.
Also with that, Pat, it helps us to focus also see that it ain't about this.
No,
it ain't about the brick and mortar.
Churches in here.
And I know people that individuals, no names called, but if their church ended up was a human, they'd be married to it. They love that church that much. To the point that sometimes their family is second place to the church.
Wow.
In the midst of it. But it's a time to see that it's not all about this, because now the church is scattered. But we unite to come to worship. Let me just throw this in. You mentioned this, I just hit in the back of my head. As a kid growing up in New York, we would laugh at our pastor because after morning worship was over, he would go change his shirt and Doc would be out the door and he would leave some time before the parking lot was clear. He would go home, and if you went by his house, he'd have his pajamas on and getting into bed. This is like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we were wondering, why Doc always getting in the bed. So, I mean, even if he had an afternoon service, he would go home, didn't live that far from the church. He would go home, put his pajamas on, get in the bed. He may show up at the church 5 minutes before he had to get up to preach, but he's going to be there. He was teaching us then, get your rest in, son. And I can hear him heaven now saying, get your rest.
Yes, we don't want to give too much away. This is just a sample of what you can expect. The 2 hows. How has this affected your ministry? And how are you going to change moving forward? I just want everybody to just give one single word of how we can encourage the listeners, the followers of this moment of moving forward.
Be prepared.
Stay focused.
Stay faithful.
Don't waste no time.
Stay sound.
Stay with God.
Love you.
This is a good time for Cowboy fans.
Don't do that.
This is the time that God is telling the saints to be saved.